Hello and welcome, grade 10s. My name is Mr. T, your host, and I'll be presenting to you another lesson under the video edition on equations. In this video, we're going to be looking at how to solve for inequalities. To start with, we're given the question, solve for x and represent your solution on a number line. We are given the inequality 2x plus 3 less or equal to 9. Question is, how do we solve for this inequality? I would remind you of the steps that we undertook when solving a linear equation. That was the very first video under this video series. In that, we need to isolate our variable, in this context x. But how do we isolate our variable? The first step involves the removal of that plus 3 from the left-hand side. But how do we remove it? We use the additive inverse of plus 3, which is a minus 3. So we will rewrite the same inequality as 2x less or equal to 9 minus 3. Simplifying that, we're going to get 2x less than or equal to 6. Thereafter, we divide both sides by 2. We're going to get x is less or equal to 3 as our solution. So the first part of that question has been addressed. We have solved for x. Now we're left with the second part, which involves representing our solution on a number line. But how do we do that? I'm going to first remind you of an important note that I need you to remember. Remember that when you're dealing with the signs less or equal to or greater or equal to, you've got to shade your diagram. Similarly, if you are dealing with the sign less than or the sign greater than, you do not shade. So you do not shade. I'm reminding you because we're looking at a solution where we know that the x value is less than or equal to 3. What does it mean? It means that the x values range from minus infinity right up until 3 included. And to help you remember in terms of the direction where your arrow must face, if you look at the inequality sign, for instance, if you look at this sign, it's facing towards the left, facing towards the left, facing towards the right, facing towards the right. What does it mean? So where it's facing towards, that's the direction where your arrow should face. So if you look at our solution, which is x less or equal to negative 3, it's facing towards the left. That means our inequality must face the left-hand side, and we've got to shade it. Our critical value is positive 3. We move on to the second question, where we're given negative 3 less than negative 2x minus 1 over 4 less or equal to 7. First thing is first, we need to find the LCD. Why LCD? Because it's coming in the form of a fraction. So our LCD is 4. What do we do with that LCD? We multiply each of those terms by that 4, including the middle part. So we're multiplying the 7 and the negative 3, including the middle part, by 4, the LCD. If we do it correctly, we would get negative 12 less than negative 2x minus 1 less than or equal to 28. Thereafter, we're going to remove the negative 1, just like we applied the previous step or the previous question. We're going to get in negative 11 less than negative 2x less than or equal to 29. Thereafter, if we divide by negative 2, and this is important, whenever we divide by a negative number, the inequality signs face the opposite sign. What am I saying? So if we divide by negative 2, we're going to get 11 over 2 greater than x greater or equal to negative 29 over 2. Notice the inequality signs are now facing the opposite direction. Why? Because we divided by a negative number. But just to write it in a way that we're used to, we can present our solution as negative 29 over 2 less or equal to x less than 11 over 2. Representing the solution on the number line, although it's not required, we're going to have it as Our critical values of 29, negative 29 over 2 and 11 over 2, and we ought to shade the negative 29 over 2 part. The other one remains open, unshaded. I hope you enjoyed that video. Until next time, signing out is Mr. T. Bye-bye.